Welcome to Understand the Math. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to classify numbers, a fundamental skill in mathematics that helps us understand different types of numbers and their properties. By the end of this video, you'll be able to classify any given number as real, irrational, rational, integer, whole, or natural. Let's get started. Before we dive into definitions, let's take a look at how numbers are structured. Numbers are classified into two main categories: real numbers, numbers that can be found on the number line, or imaginary or complex numbers, which are numbers that have the imaginary unit I in them. In this video, we'll focus on real numbers, which are further classified as rational or irrational, integer, whole, and natural numbers. Now that we understand the overall structure of how numbers are classified, let's begin with one of the most fundamental distinctions: real numbers versus imaginary or complex numbers. A real number is any number that can be found on a number line, such as -5, -3/2, 0, 2/3, the square root of 4, 9/2, and 7. An imaginary or complex number is any number with the imaginary unit I in it, such as 2i or 3 plus 4i. To make it simple, just remember that if a number doesn't contain I, it's a real number, and if it does contain I, it's a complex number. Now that we've distinguished between real and complex numbers, let's focus on the different types of real numbers. A real number is either a rational number or an irrational number. A rational number is any number that can be expressed as the quotient p divided by q, where p and q are integers and q is not equal to 0. This just means that a rational number can be written as a fraction. Examples of rational numbers are 5, 2/3, 0.75, and 0.3333, which keeps repeating. All of these examples are rational numbers. In contrast, an irrational number is any number that cannot be expressed as a fraction. Examples of irrational numbers are pi and the square root of 2. If a square root can't be simplified, then it's an irrational number. For example, the square root of 4 can be simplified to 2, so it is not an irrational number, and instead, it's a rational number. Let's now break down three important subsets of rational numbers: natural numbers, whole numbers, and integers. A natural number is notated as n, and it is a positive integer, or it's called a counting number. Natural numbers are the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. A whole number is sometimes notated as w, and it includes all the natural numbers and the number 0. These numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. An integer is denoted as z. This notation comes from the German word Zahlen for numbers. An integer is a whole number or a negative whole number. These numbers are integers. Notice that every natural number is a whole number, every whole number is an integer, and then every integer is a rational number. Let's now put everything we learned into practice and classify some numbers. We're going to classify each number as rational, irrational, integer, whole, and or natural. We're going to begin by determining if a number is rational or irrational, and then if it's rational, we'll have to see what else it might be. Remember that a number is rational if it can be written as a fraction. -8 can be written as -8/1, so it is a rational number, and it is also an integer. minus the square root of 7 cannot be simplified, so it's an irrational number. Minus 0.3 can be written as the fraction minus 3 over 10, so it is a rational number. 0 can be thought of as 0 divided by 1. I know that seems weird, but that's how you write it as a fraction. So it is a rational number. It is also an integer. And it is also a whole number. 2 divided by 7 is already written as a fraction, so let's just write down that this is a rational number. The square root of 4 can be simplified to 2, which can be written as 2 divided by 1, so it is a rational number. It is also an integer. It is also a whole number. We're running out of room here. And it is also a natural number. 3.6 can be written as 36 over 10, so it is also a rational number. And then lastly, 25 over 5 is equal to 5. So it's just going to be like the square root of 4. It is a rational number. It is an integer. It is a whole number. And lastly, it is a natural number. You now know how to classify numbers into different groups. Understanding these classifications will help you build a strong foundation for algebra and for more advanced mathematical concepts.
If this video has been helpful to you, please consider subscribing to my channel. Keep believing in yourself and have a great rest of your day.